What's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. So for today's video, I have been waiting for this one, but we are going to be trying out and playing with the new Blend Bunny Cosmetics Lure Palette and the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Trove Palette. If you guys want to see what these two palettes are all about, are they actually worth it, and what type of eye look I create, well then definitely keep watching. I have been reviewing Blend Bunny Cosmetics since January of 2021, so it's been 2 years since I've tried my first product from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. It was the Blends palette, and from that very first palette, I have fallen so in love with Blend Bunny Cosmetics. Not only is Maggie, the owner, so incredibly sweet, but her products like literally speak volumes. So I was so happy when they reached out and wanted to send this my way. I was like, absolutely. So this is the new Lure palette right here. First off, can we take a moment to appreciate the mermaid scales, the details on this? Like, it is like a hard surface. Like, it feels like scales. Like, it generally does feel like scales. I absolutely do love the packaging of this. I think it's so beautiful. But on the inside, y'all, I have never seen a prettier palette. And especially because I live here in Florida, I love like beachy themed palettes. I have like pastel shades, and this is going to be that perfect like Lure mermaid palette. So here is the Lure palette right here. Now you are going to have those beautiful 24 shades in here. I love that the very first row is all shimmers, and then you have all the mattes with various tones that really does allow you to create depth and transition within the Blend Bunny palette. And it's why I love this brand so much, because they create such, versatile shades that kind of mix and match for everything. So you can have a beautiful deep shade, but then blend it out with a lighter shade. I love that they create such depth within their palette. So this palette actually does retail for $46. You guys can use code Allie, which will save you guys 10% off your purchase when shopping anything at Blend Bunny Cosmetics. And on the website, it does say 24 shades for the mermaid within. Shades inspired by the fantasy of mermaids, tales of the pirates, and the beauty of the ocean. Our signature trios of depth, mid, and transition tones in a variety of magical tones for all of your mermaid-inspired looks. We can't wait to see the beauty you create with our Lure palette. And I just have to say, this is just so freaking gorgeous. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch these for you guys, and then we're going to dive into the Trove palette. Okay, so the very first row we have is all their shimmer shades. We have the shade Pearl, Folklore, Charmed, In a Bottle, Sailor's Delight, and Bioluminescence. Now I really love it because the shade Pearl, almost like it's a dual chrome, because the way that it shifts and changes within the light. This is absolutely beautiful, and I have to say, Blend Bunny Cosmetics shimmers are so creamy and buttery. Like, it takes everything I have, not to just stick my finger in there, just mix it around, because of how soft and buttery and creamy it is. So here is the first swatch right here. So here's the first row right here. So for the second row, this is more like their pastel light tone shades right here. We have Storms Ahead, this beautiful like mauve purple, Sea Foam, Jellyfish, Lost at Sea, Baited, followed by Catch Me right there. Okay, then we're going to have their bright, bold colors. We have Pirate's Life, Mermaid Lagoon, Seductress, Sea Nymph, Booty, and Explore. All right, for the last row, we have their like deep, deep dark colors. We have Black Sea, Uncharted, Tentacles, 332 meters, X marks the spot, and Deep right there. Now, what I really do love about how she laid this out is if you actually look at it, you can create an eye look going down every single row right here. She made it so easy just to create a very uniform eye look. If you just go down, you can create so many beautiful looks just by going down the row right there. You can create so many different and so many depth and so many dimension looks using those. But I think it's such a gorgeous palette. You could also cross, you can mix and match. There is so much to this palette. It is so freaking beautiful. And the fact that you get 24 shades for $46 is absolutely incredible. Now the next palette that I'm so excited to talk about is actually their Trove palette right here. Now this is going to be their multi-dimensional quad palette. And let me tell you, I've already had the opportunity to swatch this, and I don't think you guys are ready. Now, I will say this is definitely more on the expensive side. This palette does retail for $68. You get 4 beautiful, extremely pigmented multi-chromes. Now, if you guys really calculate it, it's about $15 per shade. But if you guys use code Allie, you guys will save 10% on top of that, making it just a little bit cheaper. And you guys know how much I love multi-chromes. I talk about Nakia Joy Cosmetics all the time with their loose pigments. Their multi-chromes actually vary between $12 to $16. So having this being about $15 per shade is a pretty decent price point in my opinion, and it pretty matches so many other multi-chrome single shadows out there in terms of the price point. So I think it's a very decently priced palette, and they do offer Afterpay just in case. But here we have the Trove palette. Now this is such a gorgeous palette. Like I said, I've already been playing with it. I've already swatched it. And when I tell you that these are the creamiest buttery shades I have ever encountered, you guys know how much I love my Nakia Joy Cosmetics loose pigments. I love them so much. But in order to get the quality that you're looking for, you tend to have a mixing medium to really get them to have that payoff and that pigment. This, it's already done for you. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch these shades for you guys. I just want you guys to see how gorgeous these shades truly are all on their own. Like, they're so creamy, so freaking buttery. I mean, like, I'm just going to put my finger down. Just look at that. Absolutely stunning. So beautiful. Doesn't require me to dig back in. They're so like shifty. I can see so many different colors in these. Now I'm going to do a close-up for you guys so you actually really can get a feel of what these really look like, because I feel like with my beauty lights, I'm never able to capture the beautiful multi-chrome or how the pigment really looks in person versus how it looks on camera. Like right now, you guys see different colors than what I'm seeing in person. So I'm going to quickly just swatch these. I'm going to quickly show you guys what they look like so you guys can have a better understanding of what they look like in real life versus what they look like with just like beauty lights on. Okay, so here's a close-up of these shadows right here. You guys can definitely see how they shift colors. They're absolutely so creamy and buttery. The first shade that you guys see right here, this is going to be called Treasures Untold. Then we have the shade Cove, which is my personal favorite. You guys can see it go from green to that beautiful yellow. Followed by Dive Deep. You guys are going to see it go from like an aqua green to like a beautiful blue. Then we have Mermaid Tears. This goes from a blue to purple shift. You guys can definitely see how gorgeous these are. I'm truly obsessed with them. They can create beautiful mermaid looks with these. You can create beautiful looks all on their own, or they can definitely pair very beautifully with the Lure palette. But this is such a stunning, stunning multi-dimensional colors. I truly can't get over how gorgeous these are. Okay, so here's another close-up. This was without having any flash on. So you guys can see the very first shade right here, the Treasures Untold. You guys can see how it goes from gold to like a beautiful magenta pink. Very gorgeous color. Then we have this beautiful Cove shade right here. You guys can see that it goes from like an aqua blue to green to gold. Then we have the shade Dive Deep. Now this is going to be like a purple to a blue to teal to like another purple shade. And then we do have Mermaid Tears, which is this shade right here. And this goes from like a blue to a magenta to a purple. You guys can definitely see all those beautiful multi-dimensional shifts right there. It is absolutely stunning. Here they are again once more. This was without the flash on. This was just putting my fingers in there. You guys can definitely see how creamy, how buttery they glide on so beautifully. I'm truly obsessed with how gorgeous this palette is. I definitely think it's worth the $68. I'm telling you, wait till you guys see these on the eye. You don't have to wear anything underneath it. This could be perfect on its own, but it also look really beautiful on top of the Lure palette as well. On the website, it does say, so on the website, it is described as open your treasure trove to find the most beautiful, precious multi-chromes perfectly chosen to complement the Lure or stand alone. These shifts shift between 3 to 4 ways depending on the angle and lighting. The ultimate fantasy shades for your gorgeous look. Absolutely beautiful palette. I think it's really going to complement the Lure palette beautifully. And I'm going to try to find a way to create a beautiful eye look using both. So let me go ahead and zoom you guys in. I have been dying to play with these palettes. It's finally here, and I'm going to try to live out my mermaid fantasy. Okay guys, so from what I've seen on Blend Bunny Cosmetics Instagram so far is that a lot of people are utilizing these shades right here. A lot of people are doing like blues, purples, and greens together to like really make it like mermaid-esque. And trust me, those looks are so beautiful. I freaking love them. But I want to create something just a little bit different because I want to use the Trove palette. So I'm going to create 2 different eye looks. I'm going to show you guys how I would utilize the shade Cove and the shade Deep Dive and make it into a really beautiful look using the Lure palette and these 2 together. So I'm going to do 2 different eye looks today. So on this eye, we're going to go into the shade Deep Dive, and we're going to build a look around Deep Dive. So I'm going to go into the shade Sea Nymph right here, and we're going to lay this along the transition shade, or the transition, we're going to lay this along the crease piece as like a transition shade. I don't know why I struggle to say that word, but we're gonna go in with the Blend Bunny Cosmetics B2 eye brush right here. I love Blend Bunny Cosmetics brushes so much. You guys always see me use them. And when I did my giveaway for Christmas, I got to partner with Blend Bunny Cosmetics, which I thought was like the coolest thing in the world. And I specifically told the brand, I really gotta have your eye brushes in my giveaway because they're some of the best eye brushes out there. I freaking love them so much. They make creating eye looks so easy, so effortless, and they're just so soft and so blendable. And I truly am obsessed. So we're just gonna lay this shade down right here into our crease transition. I don't know what I'm not a makeup artist, by the way. So like, if I say things wrong, it's just go with it, guys. We're gonna sort of just kind of pat this down and then softly blend as we're going. Okay, now that shade is laid down, we are gonna go into the shade Lost at Sea to kind of pat and blend on top. You know what's so funny is that a couple years ago, I did a review of like the Tarte, I don't even know what the palette was called at this point anymore, but it was like a seashell. And I remember trying to do like a mermaid-esque look in that video. And I remember I sang The Little Mermaid. This is like when I just got back into YouTube. And oh my God, I look back at that video now and I absolutely cringe and I hate the video. But I was trying to do a mermaid look because I think mermaid looks are so freaking beautiful. They're so eye-catching. And to have a palette kind of dedicate to it is so freaking cool. And then it reminds me of like a video that I did like a year or so ago where I talked about mermaids and like the legends behind them, the conspiracy theories behind them. And I just think that they're so freaking fun. I think they're so freaking fun to talk about. And I think they're so fun to like create looks around it. So we're just going to softly place that right here. And then always like trust the process, guys. And I've seen so many of you guys talk about the real estate of my lid space. You guys are like, I always see comments about my lid space. And it's so funny because some of you guys say that you love it. And I'm over here going, oh God, like I wish I had more space between my lid and my brow because then I'd have enough room for like, I don't know, skin. And some of you guys are like, no, we love your lid space. I'm like, well, I wish I had more space between my brow. I'm gonna go into the shade. I'm gonna go in the shade 332 meters on the inner and outer. But yeah, I see some of you guys talk about that and I'm just like, oh no, like it's so funny that you guys say that you want it and I'm over here going, I want more space between my brows and my lid, and you guys are saying, no, you have the perfect real estate. It's so funny to always want what we don't have. So I'm just gonna lay this right here, just tap this in. Now if you guys truly ever want a really beautiful tutorial on these products, I highly suggest following Maggie, or the owner of Blend Bunny Cosmetics, on Instagram because she creates the most beautiful looks using her products. And I freaking love her tutorials. I love when she creates such beautiful eye looks. I always ask her like, hey, what did you use? What product did you use? And she tells me, and then I'm like, yeah, no, I can't recreate it the way that you did, but I could try. And then I fail miserably every time. Remember, it's going to look messy right now, but we gotta trust the process. So then I'm gonna go into the shade called Deep Dive right here. This beautiful like mermaid scale looking shade goes from like purple, green, aqua blue. It is absolutely incredible. I think it's so pretty and I really think it's going to complement, oh my God, yes, this shade so nicely. I literally just see purple, aqua green, and blue when I look at this and I just think it's so freaking beautiful. And the best part is, you guys see how easy that is to lay down. I didn't need any sort of glitter glue because of how creamy and buttery these are. It's going to just lay down absolutely perfectly. Now if you guys want to add glitter glue just to make it stick and pop just a little bit more, you guys absolutely can, but I know Blend Bunny Cosmetics formulas so well to know that I do not need to do that whatsoever. It's going to be perfect all on its own. Okay, then I'm going to take the shade called Folklore right here and I'm just very lightly, I mean like ever so lightly, just going to tap it just right here in the center because I feel like it's just going to add an extra little pop. Just tapping that right there. Blend, blend, blend. And it's just going to make it pop just a tiny bit more. Then I'm going to take the shade called Black Sea and we're going to quickly use that to line my waterline today. That when I put on my false lashes, it's going to blend perfectly with my false lashes. That is so freaking beautiful and I feel like it does still like definitely get the mermaid vibes. Now it does have a little bit of fallout, but that is absolutely okay. For this side, we're going to focus around the shade called Cove right here. So we're going to go into the shade called Mermaid Lagoon, and we're going to take that and kind of do exactly what we done this eye, but we're going to do it on this eye instead. So far, I have to say my first impressions of this is that this is absolutely beautiful. This is super pigmented. I'm not having any issues with pigmentation. I'm not having any issues with it being patchy. It is actually laying down really, really nicely. It is very beautiful, very, very full in pigment, and it is just delivering that Blend Bunny Cosmetics feel that I love so much. What I love about the shadows, I think, is just how incredibly easy it is to blend and lay down. I do set down my eyes with a P. Louise base, and the products just worked so beautifully with that. I really think that Blend Bunny Cosmetics should create an eye base, and maybe they are for all I know, but I feel like they can probably create the perfect eye base. And I just think it's so cool because coming from a content creator standpoint, like knowing that Maggie was a content creator for years, she knows what she's looking for in terms of like makeup. So I think she's making like literally the best products, and she is so sweet. She's so forthgiving. And what I really do love is that like she gives PR to people who have like one following. Like she could care less about your followers. She just cares about the person and their creativity and the love that they show the brand. Like she doesn't care about your follower size, and that's very rare to see in the beauty community, and that's why I love this brand so freaking much. Okay, now that the shade's laid down, we're gonna go into the shade called Seafoam, and we're gonna blend that right on top. It's like a beautiful like mint green, and I love mint green so freaking much. Like when I was contemplating, like when I was doing my brush set with bling brushes, it was between red and like emerald green and mint green, and originally we were going to do mint green. That was going to be what we were going to do, but we just couldn't get the colors right. Like they couldn't get the crystals to become mint. It just came like this really weird almost like lime color, so that's why that never happened, and we went with red instead. But let me tell you, I have such a soft spot for like a mint green. I feel like the prettiest eye looks I ever create is when I'm dealing with like a mint green, and this is what this is giving me, and I am just living for it. It is so freaking pretty. Go into the shade called Uncharted, which I really do love the name for that because it reminds me of the video game. And what I've been really loving is that some of you guys have been really tuning into my Last of Us series, which makes me so incredibly happy. But I also really, which makes me so incredibly happy, and when I see the name Uncharted, I just think of the Uncharted game that's also done by Naughty Dog, and Naughty Dog is the creators of The Last of Us. So just seeing you guys are really getting into the video game and showing me that like you guys are also falling in love with it. And you guys have also told me that you guys didn't realize that video games can have such a beautiful story too, and you guys are getting so hooked and you guys never thought you would. It's just everything that I wanted and more. So I love this shade called Uncharted. It's also just a really beautiful like deep forest green. It is so pigmented. This is a green. Okay, then we're gonna go into the shade Cove right here. It's like this beautiful like blue dark purple, like blue, purple, yellow, gold. It is just such a pretty color. I don't know how well it's gonna come off on camera in terms of how it shifts, but I just know this is going to blend beautifully with this shade. I think it's going to complement each other so well. I think like the multi-dimensional shifts depend on like the lighting and the angle, obviously, but I feel like they can really pull certain colors depending on what shadows you lay right next to it. So I think that by me putting down the green, you guys are going to see a green a lot more, but I could see green, gold, and like yellow right now just by applying this with my finger. And again, look at how seamless this is. Look at how easy this is to apply. I just have to put on my finger and it just applies and lays down beautifully. Oh my God, I can see that blue shift right there looking at the mirror. Ah, it's so pretty. Okay, now that that is laid down, we're gonna go into the shade called Pearl. This is like beautiful, like dual chrome right here. And it's very, very light. It has like a pink rose gold like shift. We're just going to tap it just right there in the center, just to give this a little bit more of a little pop. Just gonna pop that right there. So when the light hits it, you guys can see like a little white shift, little pink shift. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing that I did on this eye. I'm going to take the shade Black Sea and I'm going to line my upper lid. We're going to come back with our face done. We're going to do the lower eyes, like lower lid together, inner corner brown bone. And yeah, guys, I'll be right back. Okay, so now that the lashes are on, we're going to go ahead and continue the eye look. So right over here, we're going to kind of repeat it just a bit. We're going to go into the shade 332 followed by Sea Nymph and Lost at Sea. We're gonna kind of combine those all under here. You know, it's so funny when I see 332, it kind of reminds me of the movie like 42 Meters Down. And we were just talking about that the other day because I told Corey, like, you know, I would love to go to South Africa and go cage diving with the great white sharks. Like, I have no fear doing that whatsoever. Like, I'm sure when the moment comes, I'll be like the whole time, right? But I just think it'd be such a cool thing to do in life would be to go cage diving. Now, he is kind of on the opposite. He's like, yeah, no. He's petrified, saying, no, they can come in there. They can, come and get to the cage. They could attack us. That'd be like the stupid decision to do. Don't want to do that. And I was like, why? I think it'd be so fun. I think we'd be absolutely safe. Now, the only thing I have a fear of is that like the cage would end up breaking and then we would go 42 meters down in the water and then he would die and I'd be hallucinating that he lived the whole time and then that would be it. Clearly I watch a lot of horror movies because that movie like really like the 42 meters down really kind of got to me because I was like that could be very 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 realistic, right? So that is what I thought of and he thought about the whole shark thing and I'm sitting there going, no, I don't want the cage to break because that is like what I have more of a fear of and not sharks itself. I realized, I forgot where we were. We were somewhere, I think it was like on a cruise. I don't remember. No, I don't even think it was at a cruise. I think it was Typhoon Lagoon. I think it was Typhoon Lagoon. When Typhoon Lagoon had, that is so pretty by the way. I'm going to go into the same exact thing on this side, but with like all the greens right here. When Typhoon Lagoon had a shark tank. They used to have a shark tank. They got rid of it and it became just like a big sand pit now for like extra lounge chairs and stuff like that. But they used to have like a shark tank where you can go snorkeling with sharks. Now they're reef sharks, so they're not gonna hurt you. And they had like a lot of tropical fish and everything like that. I realized that I struggled to be in that water. One, it was cold, but it wasn't even that. It was the snorkeling portion. I don't like being constricted, and I feel like having that snorkel in your mouth and then you have to try to like breathe. I was struggling so hard with, I was like hyperventilating. I couldn't do it. I feel like I was so, because I'm very claustrophobic. So that's probably why I just like, I couldn't get it down. So we've gone snorkeling in Cozumel, Mexico. We've gone snorkeling in the Grand Cayman Islands. And I literally will be that person that freaking has a life vest. I blow it completely up. But I can't put that mouthpiece in my mouth because I start to like hyperventilate. And I start to like freak out. I don't know what it is. And I want to get over my fear because they have places here like Discovery Cove where you can actually put this really cool helmet over you. And you can like, it's like a big helmet and you can like go and like walk on the bottom of their fish tanks and see all the fishes and whatnot. And I really want to do that, but I just got to get over my freaking fear of being able to breathe underwater. So it's so funny because we both have two different fears. Mine is being trapped, constricted underwater, and his is the great white sharks. And I'm like, oh, I have no fear of that. But put a freaking helmet on me or put a snorkel in my mouth and I'm over here dying and flopping going, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. That is so freaking beautiful. Now, what I could do is I could do a white liner for both to kind of make my eyes pop more. But I think I kind of want to go black liner because I feel like I really want it to be like smoky and like elongate my eyes. And I feel like whenever I wear a black liner, my eyes do get really, really elongated. So I'm going to go in with my favorite black liner. This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Pencil in the shade Perversion. My absolute favorite black liner of all time. It's the only black liner I wear. And it's so funny because I wear everything else ColourPop. This is the one that I just have to have a black liner from Urban Decay. Okay, so to complete these eye looks, I'm going to go in with the Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the Balm Loose Highlighter right here. This can make a really gold pretty highlighter, and I feel like it's just going to complement the green eye look really beautifully. So we're going to go in with that today for the inner corner and brow bone. And then I'm trying to think what to do for the blue side. I could either go in with white or I could go in with like a blue color. So I'm just going to stamp this right here. Do you guys see how pretty that is? I think for this side, I think I might want to go in with blue. So I think I'm going to take the shade in a bottle and I'm going to use that for my inner corner today as well as my brown bone highlight because I just think it looks really, really pretty. And I think it could like be a really pretty, yes. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw on my lips and I'll be right back, guys. All right, guys, and this is the final look. So what do we think? I am not going to lie to you. This is probably my favorite look that I have ever created with Blend Bunny Cosmetics. First off, I didn't have to redo my eye look 500 times. Typically, whenever I'm doing like a Blend Bunny Cosmetics review, I always have to redo my eye look because I try so hard to be so creative and try to copy Maggie's looks, and I just fail miserably. And for the first time, I just wanted to do my own thing, and I have to say, I absolutely love the way that this turned out. I really can't tell you which eye look I like more. Like, I I really love this blue eye look. I feel like it's just so pretty and aqua and blue. But then I also really love this green eye look, because I just feel like green really complements like my look all together. So looking at the two eye looks, I really can't tell you which one's my favorite. I feel like maybe as of right now it's this one, because it's like complementing my shirt so well. So with that said, guys, I literally have to tell you guys, so with that said, guys, what do I think about the new Blend Bunny Cosmetics Lure palette? I love it so damn much. This is probably my favorite Blend Bunny Cosmetics to date. This is everything I'm looking for in terms of like a mermaid theme eyeshadow palette. You have those beautiful pastel shades, this beautiful bright bold shades, along with really deep tone shades with beautiful row of shimmers that are just so creamy and buttery. They glide on so effortlessly. You don't need glitter glue. They have such high shine to them. I really do love it. And I just thoroughly am so impressed with their color scheme. I love the way it's laid out. I love that you can literally create an eye look going down each row. She made it so easy and effortless for any person out there, no matter what your skill level is. I think it's such a gorgeous palette. I think it's really going to be the palette of the year, and I think it's going to be one of those go-to summer palettes, and it's just so freaking pretty. And whenever I look at it, I just want to sing, you know, I just want to sing Jolly Sailor Bold. I just want to bring out my Jolly Sailor Bold. Like, I just want to sing. I just want to listen to like mermaid stuff. I just want to go like do mermaid looking looks and put scales on. I just feel like this is such a beautiful palette, and I just feel like it's everything that I'm looking for. And I think out of all the palettes from Blend Bunny, this is my favorite so far. So far, this is my absolute favorite. Not to mention, I think the packaging is just so kick-ass. I think it's so freaking beautiful with like the scales, the glitter. You can see how it definitely is, how it definitely does have a little bit of an ombre effect to it. I just think it is just wonderful. You get 24 shades in here for the price of $46, which is a really phenomenal price point, especially for an indie brand. I think Maggie and the team at Blend Bunny Cosmetics did the most beautiful job. I highly recommend picking up this palette. Then we do have the little Trove palette right here. And I have to say, I have played with so many different multi-dimensional shadows. You guys know that I have every single loose pigment from Nikia Joy Cosmetics. I played with Kaleidos Cosmetics. I played with like Kaleidos or whatever that brand's cosmetics, Divina Cosmetics. I played with quite a few multi-dimensional shadows, and I have to say this is absolutely incredible. The formula is so silky, it's so smooth, it blends very, very effortlessly. You guys saw that I had no trouble with it whatsoever. It has such a pigmentation, such a shift, and for it being $68, it may seem really pricey for 4 shadows, but if you really look at it and you look at all the single shadows, it's about $15 a piece, which really does equate to all the other single shadows that you guys see out there when it comes to multi-dimensional shadows. Because they are so expensive to make, it is right within the price. It's right within the price point of every other brand out there. So I think Maggie did a beautiful, phenomenal job. I think this little Trove palette really does complement the Lure palette so nicely. You can create so many different looks. I was able to show you guys how I use the shade Cove and the shade Deep Dive to make this really beautiful look today. It is just absolutely stunning. Really does fit the vibes of the mermaid theme, and I just absolutely think these two palettes are so worth it. If you guys have never tried anything from Blend Bunny Cosmetics and you guys want to try anything, I highly recommend at least trying one of these palettes. Or I know some of you guys have told me that you guys cannot get Nikia Joy Cosmetics to work out for you. You guys struggle, you don't know what to do. Definitely give this a try, because this is going to have everything you need. It's going to already be mixed for you, so you don't have to have a mixing medium. You just need your finger to create that beautiful, effortless look. That is everything on the new Blend Bunny Cosmetics palettes. These are live right now. I'll make sure I link them down below. Thank you so much to Blend Bunny Cosmetics for sending these my way. I was so happy I was so excited when I saw they got delivered. I was like, just because I never do expect anything. So when it does happen, it's just the coolest thing still. And knowing that like I have been reviewing this brand for 2 years now and I still love every product, it's great. I love it. So yeah, guys, I'll make sure I link everything that I'm wearing on my face down below. I am still currently obsessed with my new lip combo, which is the Jaclyn Cosmetics Bourbon Liner with the Go Wild Almay lipstick and the Maybelline Crystal Gloss. It's just such a pretty lip combo. I freaking love it. I love it. I love it. I can't get enough. So yeah, I'll make sure I link everything I'm wearing on my face down below. But that is it for today's video, guys. I really do hope you guys like this video. If you did, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already. So I do post 4 to 5 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channels, R for Life, where you guys get to see my cool, wonderful adventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful paid members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe, either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys in my very next video. Bye. Welcome. God, sounds so stupid. The palette is actually, I absolutely do love the packaging of this. Okay, so the very first set of swatches we have is their Fox Lore, the shade Pearl. And I'm gonna try to find a way to do 2 creative eye looks. So I'm gonna find 332 meters right here, and we're gonna lay that on the inner, we're gonna lay that, and the Maybelline, where'd it go?